Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us here at Amber Technology. My name is Simon Tate, and in typical fashion, we're going to get straight into it here with our May edition of BrandBlitz. Of course, if I was with you in person, I'd love to buy you a coffee and shoot the breeze, but we're going to get straight down to it with updates this month from WilliamsAV, Aver, Wolf Vision and Bluesound. And we'll kick off with WilliamsAV, who have recently started shipping their DL104, which is a small area loop amplifier. They announced the DL104 back at ISE earlier this year. The DL104 fits in a bit of a gap that existed in the WilliamsAV offering of for induction loops, their DigiLoop lineup. The DL102, the little guy, perfectly suited for very small areas, just for personal one-on-one communication with counter loops, help counters, those sorts of things. And then there was a bit of a gap to the DL107, which was for much larger areas. It's a 7 amp supply. And then the 207 and the 210 for very large areas. And so the DL104 fits neatly in that lineup for small areas like meeting rooms and areas up to around about 250 square meters as a maximum. And it provides a really cost-effective approach for compliance for those sorts of meeting areas, whereas previously Williams was really only able to offer an infrared or the wavecast solution for those sorts of areas. So bear in mind too, Williams and Amber Technology are quite well set up and willing and able and ready to help you out with your loop designs. I know it's something that we don't all do every day, so it's one of those little areas of expertise that might not, you might lose your muscle memory on that one from time to time. Amber's TSS team and the Williams factory are really well set up to turn those designs around really quickly for you. In case you need that documentation for engineering documentation or even for just proposals, if you're bidding, we're more than willing to help you out. So from a very utilitarian hearing loop to the Rolls-Royce of soundbars, as you would expect from Wolf Vision, releasing a video bar, it is the Rolls-Royce, their Synap video bar. It's a premium quality top-end product in a product category that's populated with a lot of, let's say, highly featured, low-cost, high-volume type devices, if I could be so diplomatic. But if you have customers or clients who are looking for the absolute best, they want the best sound, the best video, they just want the absolute best. They've already paid for, Squilliams for a meeting room, an architecturally designed masterpiece. This is the product for those sorts of customers whose quality is everything. Small and medium-sized rooms, you probably wouldn't want to put it in a very large boardroom, but anything up to a 7-meter dimension will be absolutely fine for the Synap video bar. It's endowed with a pair of 70-watt phone loudspeakers, so really, really top-end sound. And with that comes the acoustic optimization via smartphone. So you don't necessarily need an acoustic engineer to come in and optimize the performance of the Synap video bar. It can all be done fairly automatically. And all the other audio features that you expect in a video bar, AEC, automatic gain control, noise suppression, de-reverberation, all of those things. On the video side, it's got a 4K UHD built-in camera with auto framing and tracking, and the beamforming microarray as well on the front to endow that auto tracking. It's a BYD device, there's no codec built into it, but like the Synap name suggests, it's got a whole bunch of the wireless and wired collaboration options built into it. So HDMI, USB 2 and 3, Miracast, AirPlay, Chromecast, all of that sort of thing, up to and including 4K 60 with touchback. For those of you who haven't used the Synapse BYOM functionality, it can be likened fairly similar to a BYOD, but without any kind of wired connection. So BYM standing for Bring Your Own Meeting. It eliminates the need to run a USB-C or a HDMI cable between your device and the sign-up video bar. So you can run any meeting platform of your choice, even if you're running BlueJeans, Cisco, WebEx, Teams, Zoom, take your pick. You can run it all on your device in your own familiar little environment. And it allows you to wirelessly take advantage of the Synapse hardware. So even though you're not actually connected with a wired connection, you can still use the inbuilt camera, loudspeakers, microphones, and the display, and your computer will see those devices, all that hardware, as local devices, and so you can share those hardware pieces into your meeting. Like the rest of the Wolf Vision range, and especially relevance for a lot of you folks who have large fleets of Wolf Vision gear, like lots of visualizers, as I know a lot of our university customers do. The remote management software, vSolution Link Pro, can also manage the video bar, which allows you to do a bunch of automated tasks, like scheduled tasks, turn the device on at 8 o'clock or off at 8 p.m., etc. Allow it to automatically update digital signage as well, so you can have your good message for the day greet you as soon as you walk into the meeting room. You can also have the room's schedule for the day show up on, as part of your digital signage, as a form of room booking monitoring, and also your IT or your AV admins can automatically manage the updates, firmware updates, and get the device status as per the rest of the Wolf Vision hardware. So moving on to Bluesound Pro, who have just released a couple of models of ceiling speakers, which can also double as pendant speakers. So if you'll indulge me for a moment, I'd like to do a quick recap on Bluesound Pro and what they offer. It's the purpose-built music streaming for commercial spaces, as distinct from trying to shoehorn a multi-room residential type of product into a commercial situation. Anybody who's ever tried to install something like a Sonos or something that does a great job of the retail side of things, but these types of things are not designed for commercial situations, and you're only a firmware update away from complete disaster, and these stories abound. Bluesound Pro is specifically designed for these types of commercial applications, where retail, hospitality, corporate event spaces, etc. We see Bluesound through a lot of different environments. If you go into a Coles Express, for example, pretty much any Coles Express in Victoria that I've been to, you look up and you'll see a Bluesound Pro little streaming speaker up there running all of their background music services. And it's really important to point out that legally licensed commercial streaming services do exist. These are not Tidal and Spotify. They're not licensed for commercial applications. So Sound Machine, Cusick, etc. is deeply integrated into Bluesound Pro. With large fleets of Bluesound players and Bluesound devices out there, you can do remote cloud monitoring using the Excite device cloud platform. That's a third-party provider which Bluesound is neatly integrated into. And being a commercial product, EASE and CLF loudspeaker monitoring data is available for their entire range. And they'll integrate with anything, really. From a control side of things, Crestron, RTI, QSYS, all of the main platforms that are out there. It can indeed run, and you can log in with your Spotify account, your Tidal account, etc. But if you're in a commercial environment, you'll probably be wanting to use something like Sound Machine or Cusick, which is properly licensed for that sort of thing. Bluesound Pro is the complete cover-all solution for all of those types of situations. So the ceiling speakers that they released recently both have the same form factor. There's a BCS 300 and the BCS 250. So the BCS 300 is a PoE-powered streaming device. No rack power, no rack equipment required. Simply a PoE switch, and all of the device management is done using the BlueOS app. And we can stereo pair these or set them up in unlimited amounts of groups in any configuration that we need. The PCS 250 is basically the same piece of hardware except passively driven from an amplifier, and it's designed to be used with the B170S streaming amplifier, which you can see an image of right there above me. We can put 6 of those B170S amplifiers together in a single rack-mounted unit. So yeah, we can easily have a fair amount of zones running without a ton of rack space. If we do need to run them at say 100 volt or something, really depends on your situation, of course, whether you run a PoE or whether you run them as 70 volt or low impedance. Now, given that they're both the same form factor, Bluesound have also released a pendant kit which applies to both of those models, and so we can mount them. Let's say you've got a big open ceiling or you've got a very high ceiling and you really want to bring that sound source a lot closer down to the listener. The pendant kit is a great way to do that. So yeah, it rounds out the Bluesound Pro loudspeaker offering, which previously consisted of 3 sizes of surface mount speaker, all of which sound really, really good, by the way. Yeah, now rounding it out with ceiling and pendant options. So moving on to Aver. Aver are now shipping the Phone 700 ceiling speakerphone and the SA-A5 classroom audio system. Phone 700 is a very interesting little product. It really caught my eye when I first noticed it. It's a tracking ceiling tile microphone with a speakerphone built into it. Now, it's probably not going to be as powerful and be able to cover as large an area as, say, the Yamaha RMCG ceiling tile microphone. But for smaller spaces, like small boardrooms, huddle spaces and so forth, it could just be like the perfect solution. It can be scaled up with up to 3 additional speakerphone units, all of which have their own microphone and their own loudspeaker within it. So you certainly could achieve a medium-sized meeting room with an array of 4 of these guys from a single station. AEC, AGC, noise suppression, de-reverberation, all built in as you'd expect from any sort of BYOD sort of solution like this. But very, very cleverly, they've set it up with a wizard that if you're in a situation, a installation where there's Aver USB cameras there, the wizard can guide you through introducing the camera and the Phone 700 ceiling speakerphone together so they understand each other's XYZ spatial relationship. And suddenly you've got yourself a ceiling tile activated camera tracking system, which previously would have required much more expensive microphones, as well as a processor in the middle like an MT300 or a Crestron or Q-SYS plugin in order to run all of that communication between the ceiling tile and the camera. Now, all of a sudden with the Phone 700, we have a situation where, for let's say roughly 10,000 at full retail, the prospect is very real of being able to supply a customer with a very high quality tracking camera and a high quality microphone and speakerphone and a screen for a small meeting room. If they're on a tight budget, obviously the size of the room that you're going to be able to cover is going to be limited with such a system. But yeah, as an all-in-one system, very, very compelling. The SA-A5 classroom audio system, which, as I mentioned, only just started shipping as well. Really neat way to unify amplified audio, wireless microphones, PC audio, and any other source within a learning environment, so that remote participants can also get the benefit of everything that's going on in the classroom. So you'll see there the 2 little pendant microphones that come with the kit. One is for the teacher, so that they can take advantage of amplified speech in the room. And there's also another one there for students as well. There's a line out for a line out for assisted listening devices, and feedback suppression is probably smart to build that in, given that we're AV guys, we know how to run this stuff, but teachers are there to teach, and that's AV's maybe not their profession, and they're going to walk past the loudspeakers pretty much every single day. You need feedback suppression to be running there to avoid nasty howling and so forth. There's also, you'll see a little Phoenix connector there for muting, for paging. If a paging system, or if there's an emergency or an announcement over the school's PA system, we can use that as a trigger to mute the system while that announcement comes through. This little diagram is a really good way to explain this product, I found. If we have a look here, if I can just use my big ugly green mouse, we have here the SA-A5 base unit and the teacher's device connected to that by, let's say, USB-C, and the teacher is speaking with the wireless microphone, which is being amplified here by the little speakers that are included, and a student also has a microphone as well, and all of those audio sources are nicely unified so that the kid who's sitting at home, maybe they're unwell, maybe they're just pretending to be unwell and they just want to sit home and play Minecraft, I can't really tell, but at any rate, they can participate, they can get the benefit of all of the speech happening in the room, all of the programs that the teacher is presenting with their device. It's a really neat way to unify all of those sources together and provide speech amplification for a classroom. So that's all I've got for you today. Thank you very much for your time and attention. If you want to evaluate or demonstrate any of these products, by all means, just get in touch with any of us here at Amber Technology. My details are right here beside me, as are Ruth Jones's, my New South Wales, Queensland ACT counterpart. We'd be happy to help you out. Have a great day.